In the middle of me falling asleep through the course of the night, whoop, I've been watching or trying to watch, let me get this on the table. Whoops, sorry guys. I've been trying to watch a video that Tom, I believe his name was, from Weapons Education. He was starting to talk something about felons and felonies and things like that. And I don't really know where he was going because I kept falling asleep around the same time. But it did bring something up that I was going to do on the new laws that they're coming out with for drug offenders. Now, I heard our governor talking about it, and I'm sure that's not just Connecticut, but you never know when it comes to Connecticut. They are going to take the drug dealer, the persons that are out there that are putting drugs in the street, that is a felony, and they're going to drop the crime rate. They're going to lessen the crime, rather, I'm sorry. They're going to lessen the crime to a somewhat, you might as well say, misdemeanor. Basically, they're not going to get any time. Now, they're debating on the ones that already have time because, you know, they're in there for selling drugs, you know, and normally what comes with selling drugs comes crime, shootings, and such like that, which I'll get into that in a minute. But they're going to be possibly letting them out as well. Well, it's going to help the jail system, naturally, you know, being overcrowded and all, so they're going to save money on mouths that they have to feed, and they're going to put them out in the street. Now, this is a big snowball effect for a number of reasons. One is they put them in the street, they make money on them. They're selling drugs, and they're making lots of money that the state doesn't normally know anything about. So by letting them in the street and arresting them, they're making them spend that money through the justice system. So they're now bringing that money into the system, see? Or if they find any of that monies, naturally, they take that money if they can prove it was done by selling of drugs. So that's where that goes. So that's going to save the country, or in this case the state, money, because they don't have to feed as many mouths in prison. And it's going to make them money because they're going to be able to still arrest them. They're still leaving a charge there. It's just it's not going to be a felony, so they can in and out. Motor vehicle charge. So it's going to bring money into the system that the government wouldn't normally see. You know, lawyers, courts, fines, you know, what do you call it there when they take the money that's found, and as well as the drugs, you know. So this is what it's doing. It's giving a snowball effect. Now the other side of the coin is, back a few years ago, and again, I know, you know, I tell you a number of times I don't keep track of time, but if I remember right, it was in 97, 96. I was doing a paper for somebody. That's when I was able to think, and type, and the dyslexic was kicking in, and I was able to see. But anyway, it was about crime, and 93% of the shootings in the street were caused by gangs, which was drug related, turf related, dealers not getting their money, you know, the sellers selling it, and, you know, at that point not paying the dealers, trying to take over a hot market, you know, a hot spot, so that the dealer can make more money. It was all drug related. Now, there was a little bit of prostitution in there as well, and some gambling. But out of that, like 93 point something percent of all the shootings that were caused, it was like 91.2% was all because of drug-related crimes. Now, I'm not saying that everybody out there that gets shot or does shooting is drug-related. However, you know, sometimes when somebody purposely gets picked on someplace and gets shot, more than likely there's a habit that was there, and the dealer is setting an example to his other clients. Now, it always turns back to something that's drug related. Well, in this case, 91.2% of the time. Like I said, it was 93.4, 93.7 that was always crime related, naturally. But 92.3, I think it was always drug related somehow. And even, you know, where it was, because there were cases that I was reading to where there was a woman sitting on a front porch at 2 o'clock in the morning, and somebody drove by and shot her. And everybody said, oh, she was such a good girl. And about 4 months later, they found out that she owed the dealer some money. There was another one, most of the time it was women at this point that I was reading up on. Another one was that she was out and about, she got picked up by a friend, and then she was missing. Now, the next thing you know, she's found, and she was naked and dead. Come to find out that it was prostitution. She was a prostitute, and her pimp wanted her to go out and do some work, apparently, and I don't know if she was trying to quit it, you know, or she just didn't want to do it. Nobody really knows, but they found her dead. All right, so again, they're setting examples, you know. That's what a lot of it's all about. I want your corner because you're making money in your corner. I want my turf to grow. All right, the bigger my area gets, the more money I'm going to make, you know. And if somebody owes me 40 bucks, I'll kill them over 40 bucks because I'm setting an example for those other ones that are out there. You follow? So that's the way it works. So, by the government now, at least Connecticut, lessening that crime on drugs, the sale of drugs and such, and putting them away with a felon, they don't want this person to be put away and have a felony on him because they want to give him a chance. Now, I can understand part of this, a chance to make it in life if he were to change. And if he were to change, it would be very hard for him to get ahead in life with a felony on his head. Now, I can kind of understand that. However, there's something that's called a pardon board. A felon can apply for a pardon. Doesn't cost him any money to do this. He can do it on his own. In Connecticut, they have a group of attorneys that they will give you the list of that you can call that will tell you what you need to do and help you step by step. You know, okay, you have to go here and you have to get these type of papers. You know, you have to do this and you have to send them in and you have to do this by a certain date. Then you're going to get a letter saying that you have to appear there at a certain date. So when you go, make sure that you are, you know, neatly dressed, clean, no nicotine on your fingers, you know, blah, 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 blah. Look at them, speak directly to them, you know, try not to, you know, use street slang, you know, and this is what they tell you. So they guide you through the whole thing. Now, I know this because I know a few people that had gone through this. So there's ways. They don't necessarily have to live with it if they're ambitious enough and they want to make a change in life. That's just another way of showing that they want to make a change by going through these little efforts to make the change. And we're just going to hand it to them. But where I'm going with this is that by letting these dealers in this crime back out on the street and lessening the charge, Now they're going to say, well, gee, let's just sell more and more and more and more, because if we get caught, we're going to go to jail, we pay a fine, and we get back out again. You know, we pay the bondsman, we're back out, we go to court, we pay the fine, we're back out. There's nothing there for them to worry about, so they're going to keep and keep and keep. Well, what's this do? This also brings up the crime rate, so it's going to bring up the shooting, the deaths caused by shooting, which leaves me to where we're going as a good way to start limiting guns and bringing gun control back into the country. Well, not back into the country, but into the country. Look at all these gun deaths, all these deaths caused by guns. They're not going to say that that's because of what they did earlier, because of these people out there, that has to be explained to them. People are not going to understand this. All they're going to hear is, whoa, gun shootings, we got to get rid of the guns. Well, the shootings are getting higher because you just let the criminal back out in the street to do it and lessen the charge for what he was in there for to start with. So you just gave him a swinging door to do two things. Well, actually three. Save the state money, make the state money, and help the state in its fight on gun control. And I would bet a bottom dollar that gun control is going to be the biggest part of this. This is what they're really going for. All right? Because once these people get back out there and find that there's no repercussions, they're just going to continue on. The killings are going to start to increase more so. You know? I mean, you got to think about this. You know? I mean, really. Anyway, that's where I wanted to go. You can call it a little rant or call it a little education.